A step parenting expert, Chris Burns.
Women's mindset coach and stepmom, Chris Burns.
Welcome to the Step Parent Podcast. Bonus kids aren't his red flag, it's yours. Your boyfriend's bonus kids are not a freaking red flag. What's being triggered in you when you say, I could never date someone with kids, isn't actually about them. It's about you. It's about your fear of not being chosen, your worry that you're not going to belong, your lack of regulation when it comes to feelings like being uncertain or being confronted. And none of that makes you bad, it just makes you human. But what matters is what you do with that awareness. Every single person who steps into a blended family dynamic meets themselves in ways they've never expected. You're not just navigating someone else's children, you're meeting your own shadows head on. You're meeting the parts of yourself that crave control, the parts that need reassurance, the parts that still carry wounds from childhood, things that whisper things like, I'm not enough unless I'm chosen first. That's what's really going on when you catch yourself thinking, I don't want to compete with the ex, or I'll always come second. Those thoughts aren't truths. They're echoes of unhealed stories. Shadow work is simply the process of bringing awareness to the parts of ourselves we've buried. In this context, your shadow might sound like, I want to be the priority, or I don't feel safe if I'm not in control. If there are kids involved, there's no space for me. When we suppress those thoughts instead of owning them, they leak out as judgment, resentment, or self-sabotage. You start to nitpick the kids, you overanalyze the ex, you test your partner's loyalty instead of regulating your own nervous system. And that's the ego's way of trying to stay safe by controlling the environment instead of healing what's underneath. If you're triggered by the fact that your partner has kids, that's your invitation to look inward, not outward. You cannot project your discomfort onto the situation and call them the red flag. The red flag is your unwillingness to meet your own reflection, because here is the truth. He's not baggage. He's a man who's lived. He's a man who's loved and made choices. He's taken responsibility for a past relationship that didn't work out. He's a father. And that says something about his capacity to love, to show up, and to commit. So if your ego labels that as too complicated, ask yourself this: is it actually too complicated, or is it just confronting? Most people don't realize how much blended family dynamics trigger the nervous system, the unpredictability, the comparison, the feeling of being on the outside of a circle. When those emotions rise, the unregulated self reacts. It's often snapping, withdrawing, or creating distance. But when you can pause, when you can regulate, breathe, ground, get curious instead of being reactive, you reclaim your power. If you've got a story, an experience, or you just need some honest advice from not only a professional, but from someone who has actually walked this walk for 10 years, I want to hear from you. My new segment, If I'm Honest, is now open. It's a totally anonymous space for step parents to share their truth without consequences. Nothing's off limits, no judgment, no filters. It's your chance to be coached by me, to be seen, and to finally have your truth heard. You can email podcast@thestepparentcoach.com or drop a voice note directly via the website, thestepparentcoach.com. The door is open. This is your space. If you're ready to be honest, I'm listening. You stop making decisions from fear and start making them from clarity. So before you go and declare, this is not for me, I want you to ask yourself, is it genuinely misaligned, or am I running from the discomfort of growth? We've been conditioned to think that dating someone with kids is too hard, it's too messy, it's too complicated, but honestly, every relationship is complicated. This one just exposes your unhealed stuff faster. The dynamic forces you to grow. It forces you to confront the parts of you that you believe that love is limited. And maybe that's why it scares people. Maybe it's that reason, because it requires emotional intelligence right out the gate, right? If you're not ready to do that work, that's okay. There's no shame in that, but own it. Don't blame the situation. Don't call the partner with kids the red flag. Own the fact that you're not ready yet. Because if you are ready to do the inner work, then this kind of relationship can become the most transformative mirror you'll ever stand in front of. Your reactions, they are mirrors of what you believe you deserve. When you believe that you're not enough, you'll see threats everywhere. Every ex, every child, every shared memory becomes evidence that you'll be replaced. But when you believe that you're actually enough, those same things become mutual. You see the kids as extensions of the person that you love, not competition. You respect the co-parent dynamic without needing to control it. You trust that there's space for everyone because you trust that you belong. There's no questions. So this isn't about being okay with dating someone who has kids. It's about knowing who the hell you are in that space. It's about leading yourself from grounded self-worth instead of wounded ego. If you're not willing to do the inner work, if you're not willing to meet your triggers, sit in discomfort and regulate your fucking emotions, then don't step into a relationship with someone who has kids. Not because they're too hard, but because the dynamic will force your unhealed parts to the surface. And when you refuse to look at them, you'll project blame and eventually you'll burn it all to the fucking ground. But if you are willing to do the work, if you are ready to meet yourself on a deeper level, this can become the most expansive season of your life. It's not about perfection, it's about presence. So the next time that your ego comes across whispering, this is too hard, this means I'm not enough. This is a red flag. Pause and ask yourself, what is this moment trying to show me about me? And that's where your power is. It's not in fixing him, not in controlling the kids, but mastering your internal world so deeply that you can stay anchored in who you are no matter what dynamics are swirling around you. That's the work. That's the emotional intelligence. That's what it means to lead yourself. Your partner's kids aren't a red flag. Your fear of failure isn't. Your triggers aren't truth. They're simply showing you where the healing is living in your body. If you choose to do that work, to regulate, to own your reactions, to raise your standard of self, you'll find that this role, this relationship, this blended family becomes the greatest mirror of growth you'll ever experience. And if you're not ready, then that's okay too, because just be honest about it. Because there's nothing more powerful than a woman who tells the truth about where she's at and takes full responsibility for her own evolution. That's not weakness, that's fucking leadership. Thank you for tuning into today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. My new segment, If I'm Honest, is now open. It's a totally anonymous space for step parents to share their truth without consequences. Nothing off limits, no judgment, no filters. It's your chance it's your chance to be coached by me, to be seen, and to finally have your truth be heard. You can email podcast@thestepparentcoach.com or drop a voice note directly to thestepparentcoach.com. The door is open. This is your space. If you're ready to be honest, I am listening.